Boy, three stacks in this thing, and I'm showing y'all the Herald of Perfections today. We took them and we made the top 8 cut, of course. And I made some changes to the build. I'm always tweaking it. For some reason, I always find some way to tweak this deck. Like, there's a lot of times where I feel like it's at its point where I don't know what else I can do to make it better. And then, like, I'll be dueling, and then out of nowhere, I figure out something like where, you know what, there's something I really need to put in here. So yeah, upgraded it once again, and let's go ahead and hop right into this. So starting off with three, the man himself. This guy just wins games. The thing with this deck, and most can argue with it, but it doesn't matter, because it's the truth. Is if you let this deck go first and it's able to make this guy, it wins. Especially with me, because every time I go first, I make this guy and I open stick chair, and I effectively open up with a 6 to 7 card hand, putting my opponent at a -1. So it's like an introduction. It's like an introduction to victory. It's just really, really good. I love it. Like every time I open up, it's just incredible. And I just love the way that I can put my opponent at that -1. And if you can hit that power play, if you can hit that barrage, hit that sack card from their hand with the Ouroboros, that's just one less card for you to negate, or that kaiju that woulda, shoulda, coulda, you feel me? So it's just great. Then three of my PomPom girls, she is incredible. I actually bumped her back up to 3. And the reason why is because I did a bunch of test hands for like 5 hours straight. And then I sat there and did my math, and the percentages were off by a little bit. And I said, you know what? The consistency and the percentage with me opening up with Herald was at 63% without Benton. And I also put in extra copies of other stuff. So when I put in all the extra copies, it's basically 84% of the time I open up with Herald to Perfection, and the other times it's either Stick Chair and Instant Fusion. So literally 100% of my games, I either open Herald, Stick Chair, or Instant Fusion plays, and that's it. Right? Those are always guaranteed. And the Ties of the Brethren, it like happens a lot, but like it wasn't something that I was keeping count of because I wasn't like trying to do test hands for it. But yeah, so I bumped the Pom Pom Girl up to 3. It just upped the consistency of the deck. It's basically just the combo pieces. I wanted to increase my ways to get in the Herald. So my previous build had 2 of her, and then I was running 3 Foolish Burial Goods and the Metal Force Fusion to deck then, which was incredible, and it made my Ritual Sanctuary able to easily summon out Herald like a lot of my games. But the thing was, I was drawing a little bit too many spells for my taste, because there will be situations where I had Herald of Perfection already on the field, and everything that I drew, all I wanted was fairies. I didn't want, once you have Herald on field, you don't even want to draw spells no more. And the thing was, I just kept drawing spells, and I'd be doing my stick chair combo, and the 3 cards that I drew were spells, and I'd have like 2 fairies with the 6 card hand. So I was like, you know what, I need to really decrease the spells and increase the fairies, and also increase my ways to go into Herald. So by doing this, I also have increased my chances of opening up double Herald, which happened a lot today at the tournament. I actually opened up double Herald 3 out of the 6 games, 3 out of 6 rounds, tournament round, whatever, 3 out of the 6 rounds, which was incredible. Because when you open up a double Herald, it's like it's insane because you can only control one kaiju. So the thing is, one of the heralds has to be dealt with front and forward. And when you're able to put your opponent at 5 cards in hand and you have 6 to 7, if he even attempts to play all the cards of your hand, he's gonna run out before you do. You'll have 2 left. He'll have no cards in hand, no field, and you'll still have your field presence. It's just incredible. So that's all I'm saying. Like, it's really hard to lose when you go first. Like, in order for you to lose, your opponent's gonna have to sacrifice a turn and set a strike and try to force you to play into the strike. But if you have 2 Heralds of Perfection, then that one strike is gonna be lackluster because there's still gonna be a secondary Herald present. So that's why it's incredible. It's really important to open double Herald now, especially because the True King Dinos, they can search their kaiju. So if you don't have the light barrier statue to prevent them from special summoning the fire dino, you just pretty much gotta open double Herald. So there's a lot of ways to secure your victory, and it's just all but guaranteed if you go first. And the deck doesn't really have problems. Well, my deck personally, I've never had problems going second, because I'm so consistent with this engine right here, the stick chair. It's so great. This deck basically has searchable outs. On the stick chair engine, it's a plus, but it's a searchable out basically. Like when you search stick chair, you can out any card on the field, and you're also able to search honest, which lets you out any monster that would be unaffected. For example, like if the Masterpiece True Draco Slayer, the 2950 dude, is unaffected by monster spells and traps, you can just summon Herald, you know, and if he pops Herald, Herald can't negate. So let's say like he pops Herald, Herald dies. You'll use his Herald's effect to search. You'll search like basically you'll just search your honest and summon like any of your level 4 dudes and just attack right over the masterpiece dude. Damage step honest, incredible. But yeah, so it's cool that the deck basically is able to just search its outs, which I really like. And a lot of times in my games, like that was what I ended up doing. Like I came down to that scenario where I actually had the resources to search what I needed to out what was in my way, so that I can proceed to doing what I originally planned to do, anyways. And then of course we're rocking 3 of the stick, staff, scepter. He's just incredible. This guy's wow. Every time you make Herald, you bring out stick chair. They are his tools for victory. They're Herald's instruments of destruction. I just really love this combo. Oh my goodness. I mean, if you guys have ever seen any of my duel videos with Herald, every single one of them I open this combo. There's never a single game where I don't resolve this combo, and I'm not over exaggerating. It's just insane. Just watch. I mean, it's like my birthright to resolve this combo. Like I just have to do it. It just happens. And to sum up for the Star Surfs, I actually incorporated my scale as my 41st card. So it was 40 cards originally, and I decided to add him in. Now, reason being was because adding one more fairy never hurt, adding one more level 4 never hurt, and adding one more Star Seraph target never hurt either, because you run out of targets to search after Scepter. So by me adding him in, it was so great because in playtesting, there were so many times where I would burn through my stick chairs and I couldn't Daigusto Emeril yet, and I would just like special summon him from grave off of Ritual Sanctuary, search him off of Scepter, and then normal summon him, and then basically Ritual Sanctuary turned him into an instant Daigusto Emerald. Just like off of this one card, like I literally just Ritual Sanctuary, special him, effect to search, search scale, normal summon scale, overlay, make Daigusto Emerald. Just like, it was basically like a one card play. It was incredible. And if you guys don't know scales broken effects, I'll read them to you. So he can special summon a Star Seraph from your hand, which is actually good because you can search all your Star Seraphs. He can also target a light monster in your graveyard and put it on top of your deck. And since it doesn't specify main deck, he can recycle any light monster back to your extra deck, which is really cool. And because he can put light monsters on top of your deck, he can put Star Seraph Scepter from your graveyard on top of your deck for you to use Scepter, go on a stick, and chair, and then chair to special summon the stick. That way you can pop 2 cards and get 2 draws, or even potentially pop 3 cards and get 3 draws, which is also it's just like a scenario that's gonna come up a lot, especially if you use your Ritual Sanctuary right. Like if you just have one of him in grave, I'm sorry, if you just have 2 of him in grave and like 1 in hand, especially the way you're able to search them, you can bring 1 out with Ritual Sanctuary, you can bring another out with Instant Fusion, and then normal summon 1, and then bam, that's your combo right there. Or you can soul charge for it. It's just really good, but it's gonna come up, and this guy helps you to do that more. So the more pops and the more draws, it's just better. And his most broken effect isn't even the special or the recycle. It's as an XYZ material, if either player special summons monsters from hands, monsters from the hand, I can draw a card. So it's kind of like Maxi. And because I have a ritual deck, I summon from hand. So basically, when you ritual summon Herald of Perfection, it actually is a -1 because it requires Dawn of the Herald, Benton, and Herald of Perfection in that rotation. When you play your Dawn, you summon Herald. Dawn gets banished, Benton goes back to your hand. Then her effect activates the search. So those 3 cards turned into Benton and a search, which means you've lost 1 card. But if you have him as an XYZ material for your Deltaros, which makes this more broken, because not only is Deltaros preventing your opponent from activating any card effects when you do when you do summon your monsters, and also ritual summons are inherent, so it's even more difficult. Basically, having him on field makes it so your Herald's coming here no matter what. But anyways, so when you summon your Herald, you would be taking a -1, but if you summon him with the Deltaros as a scale material, you'll be able to draw that card, so you'll summon your Herald of Perfection for free, which people must understand how powerful a free Herald is. It's like making a free Crystal Wing, or it's just so good. He's even more powerful than Crystal Wing because he's more durable. But I just love it, and as long as it's there, every turn you get to net that. So you get to net it on your turn because you summon from hand, and then when you're going against the True Draco, the True King matchup, the dinosaurs, they pop off from hand. It does special from hand a lot, which is kind of crazy. that one of the best decks special summons from hand a lot. So this guy is gonna act like a maxi, so it's gonna be great. Yeah, moving forward, 2 copies of Honest. He's one of the most important monsters because this is my out to any monsters that are unaffected by shenanigans. And as far as the dinos go, it's not really that hard to deal with them. The True Draco thing, I think that's really one of the most difficult matchups for me is the True Dracos, is because I can't actually negate like any of their effects if they can make it unaffected by monster effects, which I find problematic. But if I go first, it's pretty much, it's gonna be a piece of cake. And I have had trouble with True King Dinos sometimes, and the thing was, the problems I had was just not knowing what to stop. But I think the more I play True King Dinos and the more I get comfortable with it, the more I'll know about the deck. So I'll know what its key crucial plays. Like right now, I know most importantly it's Baby Ceresaurus, Petitrodon, and the Earth True King are like the three main combo cards. Aside from that is the Miscellaneousaurus and the Raptor, which is actually crazy because those are all 5 cards that are at 3, which are 15, and that's like 15 power plays. And I struggle with knowing which one to let slide and which one to let go. I'm sorry, which one to let slide and which one to stop. Because like sometimes like I'll stop the wrong ones and then like it'll be a play that I could have kept for myself, no, and then I'll realize like that never would have hurt me. So it's like one potential play I could have kept for myself because you gotta kind of try to be conservative with your heralds. You have to like save a backup play for yourself. Because the idea is if you make your herald first turn, you want to back it up with the Digusto Emerald next turn because you're obviously going to be discarding your fairies. So you want to put them back and net that extra free draw to get that extra negate so you can keep everything established. So that's why you want to save a play in your hand. You never want to discard your entire hand with Herald. So if somebody's trying to do that to you as a Herald of Perfection player, you should know better and don't even let them play you. Especially knowing what plays they have. Like I said, like that's why it's good to know the Dino matchup. So I think the more knowledge I have playing that deck and the more I play it, the better advantage I'll have in that matchup. So right now I'm really enjoying it. I actually haven't had any difficulties like in any specific matchups. My whole thing was struggling going second against like Naturia Beast. That was really it. It was just struggling going second against Naturia Beast. That's the only thing I've had problems with. Yeah, and the thing is that Dino deck can actually make it, which gives them a trump card against a lot of decks. And of course, we know Barrier Statue is broken. This guy is just like, wow. When I make him going first, it's like not only can you just like, oh, man, you have to like have a specific kaiju, but then like I have 2 heralds, and it's just so crazy. This guy just basically increases your ceiling. And just having him there says that True King Dinos can't pop off any combos. They have to either normal summon Miscellaneous or normal summon the Raptor and try to attack over it. And the thing is, Honest is always present when this guy's here. So it just like steals a turn from them. Because to pop off all their combos, they actually do need to special summon. So this guy's powerful for the True King Dinos, especially going first. Because when you make your Barrier Statue going first against True King Dinos, you can stop them from ever searching the Ultimate Conductor Tyranno just to eliminate that quote, quote, whatever counter argument some might say. Oh, the Dinos can search the Conductor and he's light. When you open up with this guy in your Herald, you stop them from ever searching it. And also, when you open up with it, your opponent is going to need to special summon just to get 2 Dinos in his graveyard. If he can't special summon and pull off his shenanigans, he's not going to be able to load up his graveyard or even search. Like, if he can't special, he's not going to be able to search his Dino and load his grave up for it at the same time, especially not with the Herald on the field. So yeah, this guy's incredible for the True Dino matchup. In fact, he won me 2 out of my 3 games with the True Dinos today. So he's just great. And the 1 is perfect. You don't want to play anymore because it's just off the 1 ties plays, and that just gets you game. So moving forward with the preps. So this is the Juice and Berries. These are basically your ways to get to Herald. So we've got her, we've got Handy Manny, and then we've got my bro right here. And these are all 3 of. So it's just like if we basically just add these guys up, and it's a 41 card deck, which kind of sucks. That 1 card does make a difference sometimes. But we basically got the 3, 6, 9. That's 9 ways to get to Herald. Then you've got your 4 preps, which is 13. So 13 in count right now. And you absolutely have to play your prep brigade. It's important for this deck. It's 1 card that gets you 2 of the 3 things that you need. And then of course 3 copies of Las Vegas. And that makes 16 ways to get to Herald. Las Vegas is very important. This is how you grind a lot of your games out. And this is how I won a game where I opened up with Herald, and my opponent was able to drain everything from me and board wipe me, and he was left with no cards in hand, and I had no cards in hand and no monsters on field. But I used this and just special summon my scepter. Oh my goodness, it was just crazy. Like this basically just got me the whole game. It was retarded, and like it got me just the exact amount of damage that I needed. Oh my goodness. And then moving forward to three terraformings. One of them is common because I have four super rare terraformings, and I have two in this deck, and I have two in another deck. And I really didn't want to take them out. Like I just didn't. So I decided to just basically swallow my pride and put a common terraforming. It hurts to see two supers in a common, but I wanted to bump this to three because terraforming is sanctuary, and sanctuary is important. And sanctuary is any of your herald combo pieces. So like I was saying, this is when you open with terraforming. Terraforming is either Dawn, it's either Herald, or it's either Benton. So this makes your hands a lot better. Like especially when you open up with, for example, one too many Dawns of the Herald, you can use this and it makes your hand a lot better. So terraforming makes your hands incredible, and that would make 16, 19. So we've got the 19, and then finally, so we've got 22 ways to get to Herald, which is very important because 22 is literally more than half your deck. And it's exactly more than half, even being a 41 card deck. It's that's just great. So yeah, these are all important spells because if you open up with any of these, this just gets you exactly where you need to be. And with Herald of Perfection, it's literally like in the name, you get Herald and that's what it is. And it's not a very boring deck. Like although most people may argue and say it's just like a negate dot deck, all you do is just make Herald and just discard cards all day. It's a very combo eccentric deck. I have dedicated myself to mastering this deck's playstyle and understanding the ins and outs, its strengths and weaknesses. And there have been many scenarios where I never thought I would have win, and I found a way to come up out of it. And also where I've opened up with bad hands and played it through and turned that bad hand into a game-winning hand. So I just really think this deck is incredible. And contrary to the arguments some may make, this deck is extremely consistent, and it does actually plus harder than any deck that exists currently right now. And the fact that it's able to put you at a -1, it put itself at a +2 with a deck that discards Syndicate, which means I'm basically starting off with two more cards than you, and you have to play more cards than me to win, which means I'm already beating you. It's incredible. And three ties, I really wish I saw this more today. I really didn't see it every game, and that's the thing. I want to see this every single game, especially opening up. This is like one of my game-winning plays. This is my floodgate right here. It's very important. And it searches out my extra copies of Sovereignty. It puts an additional Scepter body on board. This was also incredible because this helped me combo off. Like, there were games where I would open up really strong and ties would bring out my Scepter. And then the Scepter would live, and I would normal summon another Scepter, and that would get the chair, and then I would use Ritual Sanctuary and spam the third Scepter and do the triple pop draw combo. And then you use Deltros and you clear 4 cards off the field and you net 3 draws. And that alone, off of that one combo, you do incredible plays. Off that one play, it sustains you. And that's in addition to everything that you already had. Just basically playing the ties, the Scepters on field, special one from Grave off Ritual Sanctuary, and normal summon one. And that play just gives you so much good stuff. It's incredible. And I did that multiple times today. It's great. So ties does actually help you to spam your rank 4s even faster, because the barrier statue basically protects any other monsters that come onto the field with it, because they're trying to get the barrier statue first, and Honest protects him. So it's a really well protected board, especially backed up with the Herald. Double instant ramen. This card is great. Opening up with this is just so good. I love seeing this first turn because I want to make Abyss Dweller to make sure that True King Dinos can't combo off, and especially for True Dracos, so their back rows can't go off. So I just love Instant Fusion. And this was so powerful as a trump card going second because I used this to make Utopia lightning 4 times today. Like this card literally just was lightning like all day. And I actually cut my pot to 1. This seems a little strange, you guys, and it's up to you whether you do it or not. But the reason why I cut my pot to 1 is because today I actually played a Pot of Desires and drew into it. And just because of that one time it happened, I cut it. It's weird. Herald of Perfection kind of like reminds me of myself because I myself am like a perfectionist. Like I want my decks to be like perfect, like perfected. I don't want them to be bricky, and I think of each like every increment of the deck. I don't skip any detail. I sweep the corners. I sweep the fine prints. I go in between the fingernails. You know what I mean? Like I get like I really work my hardest to make my decks the best I can. So because I drew into a pot off of a pot, that just that alone made me cut this. Because whether I won or lost that duel, which I did win, luckily for me, whether I won or lost, if I was in a losing situation and that pot was basically my last resort, and that one pot would have killed me, bro. Basically, so I decided I'm just gonna put this at one. My deck is insanely consistent. I see pot when I need it, and I really do. Like honestly, I tested it first before I decided to commit to the one. I didn't just say I'm gonna just throw it in that one. I'm gonna say I'm gonna try that one, and if it works, I'm gonna keep it there. So I'm keeping it here now, and I like it, especially being able to recycle it with Ritual Sanctuary. So if you guys want to try something, just bump it up, bump it down. It doesn't matter. Do what you got to do. But the pot, I still wanted it to be here because it's incredible to have, especially just like discarding until you just like have that one last pot, just play it and get two more fairies and stay in the game. And then the one upstart, the one win day apiece. This was a card that I could have cut to make the deck 40 cards, but obviously it's basically like if your deck's 41 cards and then you're like, I want to make it 40, so I'm gonna cut upstart like to make it 40. Upstart is a free side out. It's like it's so great. Like there's no reason to cut an upstart to make your deck 40. Upstart is your deck is not 39 with of course, because this is the 41st card, but it makes your deck 40. So it's no reason to cut it. And like I said, basically, if you have a 40 card deck and you add in an upstart, and if you want to make it 42, this is 41. But if you want to make it 42, if you just add these two in, they not only give your deck more draw power, but they give you two free side outs, which is two less cards that are actually crucial for your deck. Like these two would have actually been another Maju and a Benton. Like normally when I side out one of my copies of Benton and one of my copies of Maju. But now that I'm running these, I can keep Maju and Benton in, which increases my chances of opening Herald and just side these out. So I just love running them. And one day a piece has actually given me that one extra turn that I needed. Where I had Ritual Sanctuary and it's like I got Benton and I got Dot and I have a spell to discard next turn. I just need to live. And I have Herald, I can make Stick Chair. So just bam, one day a piece. It's just really good. And Soul Charge, of course, because you just win. This deck just makes so many free boards. Like just you make so many sophisticated power plays. Your turns are just incredible. Like all your turns have so much value and meaning to them because you're able to take so much good advantage of your time, able to reestablish, replenish. This deck is spells and monsters. So Ritual Sanctuary recycles spells. So half of your deck is recycled through this. And the other half of your deck is recycled through that gets no Emeril. So what I'm saying is your deck never runs out, which is another reason why I really wanted to cut pot so that I can maintain my resources in a better way without being more reckless, you feel me? Realistically, you only want to resolve one pot, so that's why I was like, I'm going to just play the one. I understand playing it at more increases your odds of opening up into it, but for some reason my deck is just too broken, and pot is like not a bare necessity for me. So just some cool stuff to look at. She really motivates me. Like man, she really encouraged me today while I was dueling. Just having her there on the side. Moving forward with the extra deck, Norden. This chick, I'm trying her out. She's just a free monster. I like her. So she's 1500 and she's unaffected. So the only way to out her is by battle or by kaiju. Even though she's small, you can only out her by battle or by kaiju. So she is a problem on field, and I like her a lot. She's just a free body, like I was saying. So she will give your instant fusion meaning, like if you draw dead instant fusion. Because like I do play Raijin, because there are times when I open up with the instant fusion, and like I don't want to use my Norden right now, but then it's like I also don't want to like leave my field unprotected. So it's like you can summon her, have a free body, and Raijin is also even better options. And there were some games where I had already used Raijin, so I actually used my instant fusion and went through these, and Norden was still there. So yeah, I just like having the three targets. It gives me good options, especially because like I recycle instant fusion back into my deck. So although I play two, I resolve a lot more than two every game. The Utopias. I was using these all days. I was using these all day today. This was like the main stuff I was making. Of course, my homeboy Deltros. and Ouroboros. These guys are like my favorites. Emeril, this guy is incredibly important to this deck. Like this guy keeps you in the game. I honestly would consider bumping him to 3, but the thing was, I really needed space for other stuff like the Dweller and the Gaga Samurai. Fairy Cheer Girl. So basically, everything you see here is kind of just like staple. Can't really cut it. The Utopia Beyond and the other Utopia stuff really can't. You can afford to cut Prime, but I love it because Prime allows me to go stick chair, pop draw, and then go into Lightning Steel. So it's like I don't. It's just it's really good basically. It's like sometimes they'll banish, like for example, they'll banish the Utopia from your extra deck. With your they'll banish the Utopia from your extra deck with the Earth thing, thinking that Utopia the Lightning is dead now, and then you'll go stick chair into Utopia Prime. Like it's incredible. Like there's a game they banished Utopia, they banished my Norden, and they banished my Bitch Dweller off the True King Earth Dude, which I thought was actually smart as a player because the True King Earth Dude basically eliminated Dweller as a problem. He eliminated Utopia the Lightning as a problem, and he eliminated Instant Fusion as a problem. Like you have to understand, as a player, when I thought about what he did, like that was excellent. Like I wouldn't have done anything different. But the thing was, he actually left me with all of my Star Seraph plays, and so my stick chair still got me game. And Gaga Samurai, this guy gets me game a lot. He's just really good because my Herald keeps the field cleared, like excellent. And so a lot of times you'll have like that one turn to yourself before it's time to go back to negate helmet mode. So it's like this guy lets you basically maximize on the time that you have. Like when you have that free turn, just get as much damage as you can. And another token. Side deck is 3 raw spear mode. This is great for True King Dinos because I actually had a matchup where and I actually lost it too. And he opened up the same way 3 times. It's crazy. And I was only able to deal with it twice. But he opened up with the Crystal Wing Zokin, and he had Swanee and the Counter Trap, and he had Doka, and he had Lagia. So it's just really hard. Like Lagia, Doka, the Zokin, Crystal Wing, and the Swanee dude, because he summoned it off of the Denlong and had the Counter Trap. So like he had a crazy board. Like this guy helped me, but it was just like he kept doing it. So like, dude, oh my goodness, it was crazy. And double gamma seal, sticky strings, the wind, Ganda, whatever, the Dino dude, and the big ones. Now I'm playing a lot of kaiju's this time because True Draco, the Master Pace dude. If I just have one of these in hand with the combination of Herald or Stick Chair or Instant Fusion or just an Honest and a level 4, which is pretty much all I need is this guy because everything else that I specified, that's all my deck consists of. There's no other effects. If you get what I'm saying, like I did all, like I narrowed down every single effect, and the components on my deck are the recovery plays in the form of Instant Fusion and Soul Charge, and the consistency in the form of the draw power with Star Seraph, the Star Seraphs, the upstarts, and the 1 days, and then just Heralds. Just the Heralds. Of course, pots included in the draw power, but then everything else is just the Herald stuff. So like there's just basically like 3 components of my deck. So if I have a hand, it's gonna be full of one to 3 things. So basically all I need is him and just like anything that's really like that. What my deck is about, and it's incredible because you just OTK. Like when you're playing against True Dracos, you kaiju them. Herald, stick chair, pop it, bam, bam, make another Herald, Utopia, the Lightning, Utopia, the Beyond 8,000. It's just really good. Double Slumber. Sorry for rambling, you guys. I'm really passionate, and I gotta just speak my mind sometimes. Double Slumber, Double Dark Hole, and one Raigeki. As far as siding, I don't know. I just really, really wish that Dark Hole was at 3. I wish Raigeki was at 3. And I wish that side decks were at 20 so that I can bump this to 3 and bump this to 3. Yeah, that's really the only thing that I want to change about my side deck is I wish I could run more board wipes because I feel like it's not enough sometimes because like I'll naturally when I'll side everything. I don't ever go halfway in, like 1 foot in, 1 foot out. I go just all the way. And I'll show you guys exactly what I side because I know a lot of people like have questions of what do you normally side out with your health because some people like wonder what. So when you're going second, this is exactly what you side out. I side out all my ties. I side out an extra Instant Fusion. I keep one for myself, but I side out a second one because I don't want to open up double. And it's basically still there, so you're not really losing anything. So it's really great to just side out extra copies, like side out double Terraforming, and of course side out 1 Manju and 1 Binton. and side out homeboy because he's only really ideal going first and side out scale. So whew, if we count this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, that's basically everything except Dark Hole and Raigeki. And I pretty much, what this is everything except raw spear mode for me, because this is actually how I side. Like when I side, I naturally side everything except raw spear mode. Raw spear mode is very specific for me. Like I only side him for particular decks, because not every deck is actually able to make formidable fields for him to be, basically for him to be good and ideal in my hand. Like there are some decks that I play where they only have like 1 to 2 monsters and their field consists of just those two. So raw spear mode will never be able to go off. So most of the time I just side in basically all my kaijus and the dark holes in Raigeki. But let's say for example, I needed my spear mode, I would just side out my desires. And I do, there are games when I'm going into game 2 when I need my raw spear mode, I'll side out all my desires. Because I already know if I'm going into time, I'm gonna grind it out and I don't want to play a gamble with desires. Like I don't want to play none of that bull crap with that game. So yeah, I would just side out that, and then another Manju, and the terraforming, and then just keep the 3 ritual sanctuaries, and that's your whole side deck right there. And what this is, your side deck, bam, and your everything that's left in your deck is Herald Stick Chair, literally. Well, aside from Instant Fusion and Soul Charge, everything else in your deck is Herald Stick Chair. So what that means is, when you open up, you're going to open up with Herald Stick Chair and a board wipe. So you're going to open up with the OTK. And it happens a lot for me too. So yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. Thank you guys for your patience and for taking the time to listen to me go on and on and on and on and on and on. And for those of you guys who actually enjoy the information, I really, really would like to say thank you guys, because I do try my hardest to provide the most good quality information that I can get, and to basically explain things in a way where you guys won't have any questions.